167 years combined history, 8 National League titles and 10 Chatham Cups. That's the record between Miramar Rangers and Christchurch United, but they play today in the National League Championship at David Farrington Park, with each in 9th and 10th respectively in the National League Championship league table. There's been a couple of games played yesterday in the National League Championship. Cashmere Technical defeating Napier City Rovers by 4-2. A quite outrageous goal by Cam Howison at the end of Auckland City FC's 2-0 win over the Phoenix. And the big result, Wellington Olympic defeating Auckland United by 3-1. Well, the National League Championship table looks like this. Wellington Olympic way out in front on 15 points. Auckland City back into second place after that victory over the Phoenix, but there are 2 teams locked in 3rd and 4th who have got a big interest in what takes place in coming weeks as these 4 teams chase a place in the final. And you can see at the bottom of the table, Miramar Rangers on 4 points, Christchurch United on 2, propping up everybody else. Let's take a look at how the visitors line up for today's game. Coach Paul Eiffel has had to make 3 changes with Joel Peterson and Blake Weston returning. Former All-White Noah Billingsley has dropped out and the very experienced Jordan Spain. It's a welcome back to Scott Morris, who was sent off in the defeat to the Wellington Phoenix. He replaces Ed Ashton. Well, suspension has also played a role in Scott Hale's setup for today. Andy Bevan, one of the most experienced players, formerly of Team Wellington, was sent off against the Wellington Phoenix. So he is replaced by James Murdoch-Gibbs. Other than that, it's exactly the same lineup that Scott Hales has trusted. Joe Knowles in goal, Liam Wood the skipper, and a very familiar front line featuring Hamish Watson and Sam Mason-Smith, 2 of the most experienced strikers in the league. Well, your referee for today is Chris Bennett. He's ably assisted by Ed Cook and Gareth Sheehan. Sean O'Reilly is the 4th official. Only Ed Cook has handled a team in today's proceedings. In fact, 3 times for Miramar Rangers matches against the Phoenix and Napier City Rovers and Auckland United. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson. I'll be guiding you through today alongside former All-White Fred de Jong. Fred, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting. As you said in the build-up there, Gordy, two teams with a big history in New Zealand football, and not where we normally are used to seeing Christchurch United and Miramar Rangers. I think this will be a game. I'm hoping for a very open game where both sides, looking to pick up points, looking to score goals, looking to be attacking and show what they are actually capable of, because up until now, both have struggled in this national championship.
Well, they can play with freedom too. There's no relegation. In fact, the whole complexion of this league can be different this time next year. So perhaps there is some freedom of expression available to the players in each of these sides. And some entertainment for your Sunday to savour. Christchurch United have struggled. They've conceded 13 goals in 5 games. They conceded 12 and 18 in the Southern League. And as for Miramar, we do talk about the uncharacteristic position that they find themselves in the league, but they have been going since the early months of this year due to the COVID restrictions in 2021, the Chatham Cup, of course, bled into February. So Scott Hale's teams have been going for a long time.
Well, I mean, I've been around a few of the grounds and talking to the coaches, and a lot of them are saying that the teams have played a lot of football, and it's really showing at this back end of the season in what should be the key part. You know, the national championship. There've been the Auckland teams 22 games in the Northern Regional League. And then, yes, these 9 games, Auckland City also had the OFC Champions League. They've got the Chatham Cup, so there's a reason why a lot of the players are starting to feel it.
Well, Christchurch have made a bright and bubbly start to this game. It's Pierce with the throw. Watson with the flick. Miramar trying to find a way out of trouble. It's been interesting to see how Kashmir Technical have adapted to life in the National League Championship. They finished second to this Christchurch United team, albeit on the last day of the season. Eddie Wilkinson has been a standout for Paul Eiffel's side as well.
And interesting with Miramar formation-wise, with a 4-box midfield, back 4, and then 2 up front. So I think they're, you can hear Scotty Hales already just wanting his 2 number 6s, Max Falconer, number 7, and Tian Manuel, the number 3. He just wants him to get on the ball. He wants there to always be an outlet through that midfield area, and I think you'll see a lot this afternoon of balls into that area, and then the key is for those players to be able to turn on the ball and play forward, because you have got a strike force that scores a lot of goals in Hamish Watson and Sam Mason-Smith. Mason-Smith 2 goals last weekend against the Phoenix Reserves. Watson scored just an absolute hatful of goals in the Central League. Won him the Golden Boot. So they need to find a way to feed those 2.
Well, Fred, one area of the park that they've been missing goals has been in midfield itself. Josh Rogerson, who has been playing at the back, has scored a couple. And as you pointed out, Watson and Mason-Smith have also scored, but there's been no goals from midfield. And Andy Bevan, who was sent off in the match with the Wellington Phoenix, along with Riley Boudoir, is a big miss. He's a player that can score a lot of goals and create them too.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the players that Miramar are missing from basically the Central League and from seasons gone by, Sam Dewar, the captain, is out of that midfield area. Hugo Delhamel was there, nice, very good player on the ball, and also a player that scores goals, especially from set pieces. So, and as you say, Andy Bevan. So a lot of experience and a lot of quality that Miramar just are a little bit short of, and it shows. And I think that's the level of this National League. You've got to be at your best, otherwise you get found out.
Here's Faulkner. Clipped forward, flag has gone up. Watson just making a run in behind the centre half.
Yeah, Watson running in behind, but just overdid it, went a bit early.
Scott Hales is not the type of coach to seek excuses, but when we were looking at the number of players that have been used by Miramar across the year, you know, it's up near 30, you know, and there's been the overlap of the activities from last year seeping into it. So,
but I think that's what all the coaches are facing now. You know, historically you've probably gone in with a squad of 16 to 18 players where you think, oh, okay, that'll suffice. I think the under-20 rule, you know, two under-20 players having to start really can create some issues, because you need probably 5 or 6 under 20s to get through a whole season, given probably they're a little bit inconsistent, and if they suffer any injuries. First strike there from Christchurch United, but as you say, you need bigger squads to get through seasons now, and I think a lot of teams are finding that. Matt Todd-Smith lines one up.
Tobin for Rogerson. And the skipper Liam Wood.
Jimmy spinning behind. Jimmy spinning behind.
David Farrington Park, an enormous pitch to play on. If memory serves, over the decades, it is one of the biggest ones. The geometry of football pitches is in vogue at the moment after yesterday's cracking goal by Cam Howison that seemed to be closer to his own penalty box than the one at the other end at Kiwitea Street. I don't think we're in danger of seeing a repeat today. Taking nothing away from that strike, it was extraordinary, of course.
Caught me unawares. I was calling the game, and it was like, oh, yeah, he's part. Oh, actually, no, he's shooting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Cam Howison, if you look back into the ISPS Handa Premiership, had tried a couple of times against Danyon Drake in matches with Eastern Suburbs and hadn't quite landed the decisive blow. He certainly did yesterday.
Another player that tries that a lot, Hamish Watson up front. You always see him when he gets the ball in his own half, looking forward and just checking where the goalkeeper is. Obviously, keepers these days are playing basically as sweepers, so yeah, they are far out from the goal, so gives an opportunity.
Here's William Pearce. Inside to Matt Todd-Smith. Lovely switch of play to the right-hand side. The quality of delivery was lacking, though. That's meat and drink for Joe Knowles.
Jimmy, spin. Easy down, they'll come to you. Good.
Wood. Patrick Tobin.
Nobody's talking. Wilson, no thank you.
That was a decent ball to Watson. He let it run. It's fallen kindly for Faulkner. Watson again. Samantha Fong giving chase. That's a pretty solid challenge, but nothing untoward. Here's Watson. Little give and go with Sam Mason-Smith. It's not a bad move, and the goalkeeper called into action at the near post. Not going to beat the keeper from that type of position, but certainly the bits and pieces that fly off a moment like that, sometimes of interest. Here's Rogerson. Good spell this for Miramar Rangers. Murdoch Gibbs cross, and it's away for a corner. Very good ball into the penalty box.
Yeah, good pressure from Miramar. Lovely bit of interplay. Hamish Watson here, Mason Smith. Watson using his strength and maybe trying to catch the keeper unawares at the near post, but Scott Morris equal to the task there. Not really much room to play with there for a left-footed in-swinger from that side of the ground.
Must be some lawnmower to even allow for that much space as Christchurch come away with the ball. Oh, cries for handball, but United streaming forward. Lovely turn, Rambuka's free, but here he is now, Miki Rambuka. Weston. Here's Ben Lapsley. Clipped over the top of the fullback, but Rogerson and Knowles get into a bit of a tangle, but everything is safe in the end for the home side.
Drop, Eddie, Eddie, drop. Well done, Matty, well done. That's fine, Matty.
Max, stay in there. Stay. Good run, Sam.
Here's Faulkner. A little run in behind the line.
Yeah, and for me, that Max Faulkner there has got to play forward. You know, at the moment, I think he's playing pretty much within himself, getting into the flow of the game. But you know, those opportunities where he gets the ball in the middle of the park and facing forward, there's no reason to turn back. So just be a bit more positive. He's got two really good target men up front. Just get the ball in there.
It's too close to the goalkeeper to cause Miramar any problems.
I want to hear you tell JR, okay? I can't hear you.
Drop down. Drop in down.
Max, next line. No, get out. Get out. Good. Jimmy, spin and beyond.
Yeah, keep it this way then, Eddie. Yeah, you got it. Good, Eddie. Good. Keep it here.
Forwards. Wheels.
It's Akers. Ball forward for Watson. Akers kept the run going. It was well read by the United defence. Launched clear by Morris. United win the second ball, but again, it's just not getting locked in up front, and Miramar possession can now start to probe for a way forward themselves, but again, it's a lack of quality into the front. Almost an anywhere will do approach at times, and at other times it's been a little bit more incisive and creative. Well, Joe Hull making a nuisance of himself for United. It's come up for the team in white. Rumbucker. It's a good idea, and it was well read, but it's fallen to William Pearce. Cuts in on the right foot. Miramar have done well to shut him down. Matt Todd-Smith finds another pass to try and create an opening, but again, the moment's wasted.
Yeah, not sure if this was a shot or cross, but just that's where you need the quality. You know, the ball played out wide, and they've got one of the best strikers in the league, and Ed Wilkinson up front for Christchurch United. He's been playing really well, doing some really good things for his side, but you know, again, just like we've talked about with Watson and Mason Smith, needs a quality service.
Faulkner. Tian Manuel has given William Pearce of Christchurch some work to do. Working back to his own penalty box, and somewhat overzealous from James Murdoch-Gibbs. Played forward by Grover. United are getting some joy down this right-hand side. If they can find the quality to go along with it, they could be in business. They've earned a corner.
George, got to pick up.
Not in any hurry, are they? Throw-ins, corners.
No, well, it's an enormous pitch. No,
Ben Lapsley's going from left back to right wing.
Spent that, and on the keeper, Knowles elected to punch. It was effective enough, if not quite convincing, but the outcome is probably all that matters in those circumstances. And offside is the call. Well, Miramar's last 3 games of the season are interesting. They're at home to Melville next week. Then they finish off with games against Auckland City and Wellington Olympic.
Yeah, a bit of a tough run, isn't it, to finish the season? Especially those two sides, Olympic and Auckland City, will be obviously doing their utmost to make sure they make the final, so to finish in the top 2 of the competition.
Well, Miramar could have a big say in what that looks like. For Christchurch United, they too have got Auckland City and Wellington Olympic. Auckland City in Christchurch next week. They are back in the capital to face Wellington Olympic on the 19th, and then they finish with the Christchurch derby with Kashmir Technical. So after today, Christchurch United's finish to the season is going to be intense, to say the least. Here's Manuel, lovely play from Miramar. Tobin probing forward, that was the right idea, but Hamish Watson had stepped out and Lapsley had stepped into the space. Now a chance for Wilkinson. Nice turn by Wilkinson, still going. Oh, well, it was a nice idea. He really had 2 options, didn't he? One was to play that pass or try and set himself up for a shot. Rather unselfishly turned inventor for a teammate.
Get out there.
Scored a cracking goal at Birkenhead, Eddie Wilkinson. Although Christchurch ended up losing that game 3-1, he and Rumbuka were the standouts for Paul Eiffel's side that day. Here's Hull. Hull again, making this Christchurch United midfield tick over nicely. Lapsley for Pearce, good defending from Tobin. Here's the skipper, Matt Todd-Smith. Pocket of space found by Joe Hull, but again, the quality in that final pass.
Yeah, just trying to force it down one channel, aren't they? So, you know, probably would have been better there. The defence was set. Everyone had come over for the throw. So, probably better. There's space on the far side of the field to open the play out. But yeah, just trying to force it into that, through that one side of the pitch. Not really what was asked for.
What's something that comes into it when you're making your decision on the ball on a pitch that is bigger? It's just how heavy do you make your pass? You tend to feel that you can play a ball in behind and it requires extra power, and sometimes it takes a few minutes to just try and calibrate that. Smaller pitch, you won't be able to knock those balls into those spaces. Miramar shouldn't have any issue with that, though. They have been at David Farrington Park for the bulk of their history. Founded in 1907. Oh, lovely skill. Two National League titles for Miramar Rangers across the years. (2002, 2003), and 4 Chatham Cups in 1966, 1992, 2004 and 2010. That 1992 side was coached by Stu Jacobs, player coach role. Name from the past. Also played at Manawatu. Big Save Manawatu in the old National League of
Big Save.
Yes, the furniture outlet store. All the teams in the National League of the 1980s went by their the name of their chief sponsors at that time. As Rambuka winds this cross in, it takes a deflection through to Knowles. Some of the other crackers were National Mutual Miramar Rangers and Hanamex North Shore United.
Yeah, the old Hanamex North Shore. That was a cracking team, cracking name.
Nicely done by Pearce. Merrick Gibbs diligently tried to keep up with the play, and it still might yet fall Miramar's way, but doesn't. Here's Wilkinson. Is the flag going to go up for that? No, it's stayed down. Goes to the near post, and well, the first touch was a bit strange, but Rambuka was on the other side of Rogerson, so no harm, no foul. Ooh, Tobin, that was sloppy. He's got away with it. Gets another go at it and gets it right this time. Oh, that's a nice pass by Sam Mason-Smith. I think this is Savantha Fong on the left, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, one of the better moves of the afternoon from Miramar. Playing the ball through that midfield area. Falconer had, as you said, a couple of bites at it, and then the play opened out and a sweeping move down the left flank. So, you know, I think that's exactly what Scotty Hales is wanting from his side. Those sort of sweeping moves that burst through the opposition defences.
So corner wound in, and Christchurch survived the moment. No goals at David Farrington Park yet. We've hit 24 minutes, 0-0. I think Paul Eiffel and Scott Hales would be pleased, though, with the performance compared to the form of recent weeks for both teams.
I thought, well, Miramar last weekend were pretty good against the Wellington Phoenix. Took a 2-0 lead into that, and eventually ran out winners 3-2. But yeah, I think for Christchurch United especially, Paul Eiffel will be looking at this going, yeah, we're holding the opposition. You know, we've had our moments going forward. As you've said, Gordon, they're doing well down the right-hand flank, getting, you know, had opportunities to put good delivery in. And they're cutting out these sorts of passes. So a lot of the time the long ball from the defence into the front two are being cut out, and it's allowing them to spring forward. As we see foul, Sapanthapong just clipping. Just coming back to help out the midfield, Sapanthapong.
Matt Todd-Smith stands over the ball. Rambuka has gone in behind what appears to be the formation of a two-man wall. Lapsley there as well. Half a dozen players from United on the edge of the 18-yard box, but Lapsley decides to go himself.
I think it was like a hard pass that he just wanted someone to deflect in, but yeah, just not on the same wavelength as his teammates that time, Lapsley.
I think if you're going to try and go for something like that, Fred, you have to do it with confidence and belief, and I think he got caught somewhere between the idea and the execution that just resulted in something that didn't really bother Joe Knowles at all.
Yeah, Patrick Tobin getting his challenge wrong as well. See here, Tobin just holding his man and then lunging in. And there's a kick out there. Not spotted by the referee. You can see Tobin after the challenge, sort of clutching in his stomach. Play moves on.
It's Riley Grover Matt Todd-Smith switches it back onto his right foot. That's a decent run, and that is a decent goal. A more than decent goal, in fact. William Pearce. And Miramar Rangers have been opened up with a lovely piece of play and creativity by Christchurch United.
Yeah, beautiful ball that just pierces the defence, and it is William Pearce on the end of it. Just beautiful touch, cushions it off his chest, and Joe Knowles doesn't have the time to get out to block it. And Pearce does really well just to pass the ball beyond the goalkeeper. And Christchurch, as we were saying, Paul Eiffel would be happy. Well, he'll be very, very happy now that his side have taken the lead.
Well, Pearce has looked good today so far as well, and that's a decent reward for his efforts. We're talking about how well Christchurch were playing down the right, but Pearce has also been impressive, and now he has something to savour. Here's Max Faulkner, under pressure. Rogerson. To midfield into Tian Manuel. Wood for Akers. Ball played into Sam Mason-Smith. Samantha Fong couldn't hold on to it. Now the ball bobbling around in midfield. Knowles knocking it clear. It's helped on by Joe Hull. Now Lapsley. Weston's header. Pearce makes a run in behind, and that's well defended by Tobin. That's a great ball by Lapsley. Peterson, back to Riley Grover. Well, Christchurch United, well, a goal can lift confidence, but Christchurch United looking buoyed by it.
Yeah, and interesting to see the use of the diagonals. We've seen a few now from the left-hand side. We saw, Ben Lapsley. We've seen, I think, Matt Todd-Smith a couple of times just open out and ping the ball from left to right. Just trying to get Peterson and Rambuka isolated with their man. I think for me, Miramar, like the structure's okay. It's just sometimes the quality of the passing is letting them down. Simple passes as well. It's a beautiful ball.
Possibilities now with Rambuka on the right-hand side. Decent cross, and Knowles has to deal with it with one hand, and it's a corner. Wow, that was impressive from Christchurch United on the counter-attack.
Yeah. Oh, we missed the pass that really opened up the opportunity. But Rambuka was looking for Daniel McLennan. They did get the corner though.
Wilkinson goes to the far post. It was a very good ball. It was good defending, I think, by Liam Wood to keep it out. Oh, dearie, that's gone straight up in the air. William Pearce has won it off Watson.
Yeah, you'd think that Miramar would be pretty comfortable defending corners, set plays, given the height in their team. Mason Smith, Watson, Wood, they're all Rogerson, all of decent height, so there should be no issues with attacking the ball and aerially winning the battle.
Tian Manuel. George Akers tries to clip a cute ball into the front line, but those passes just aren't reaching Watson or Sam Mason-Smith. They've not had the service that they need to thrive, not yet. That's decent. Christchurch United making good use of that, but unable to keep it in through Peterson.
Yeah, once again, that ball, either a central or left side, that diagonal across, looking for the run from Joel Peterson. I think that's, you know, when you look at the way George Akers playing at left back for Miramar, trying to push very high up the pitch. I think that's something that maybe Paul Eiffel spotted, and that's why he's asking his players, can you ping the ball in? But as Akers goes forward, can you ping the ball in behind him, just to force him back or to catch him out?
Faulkner for Wood. Christchurch content to allow Max Faulkner time on the ball in that pocket. Now Tobin, that's decent pass. There's a run by Murdoch Gibb, but again, Christchurch United, as you said, Fred, have made a very good habit of stepping into those passing lanes and cutting off the supply line.
Yeah, it's a long pass. That's the advantage that Christchurch have got. You know, the pass is coming from either the back or.
Nice ball by Pearce, and no takers. Oh, flag goes up.
I was saying it's a 30-metre pass or a 25, 30-metre pass that they're trying to play into the striker, and it allows the defender time to line up and either make a challenge or look to step in. So trying to work the ball forward to get over the halfway line and then pass the ball into the strikers makes it much, much easier for the strikers because it's only a 10 or 15-metre pass.
Here's Wilkinson running at the Miramar defence. It's set up for Matt Todd-Smith and lashed wide.
Yeah, not great from Faulkner. Got caught out. Wilkinson took the ball to the edge of the box. And that's a decent shooting opportunity there for Matt Todd-Smith. The ball laid across. It's almost like a shooting drill before the game. The ball laid across on the edge of the box.
It's not the first time we've seen it today in this game. Miramar are living dangerously at times. Having to regroup after giving up possession in a difficult area. It's Blake Weston. Peterson and Hull getting pressed hard by Tian Manuel. Just looking at the Miramar Rangers sponsors Monsoon Poon, and a thought about Manurewa popped in my mind. Sellotape Manurewa. I remember Sellotape Manurewa from the 1980s. They had a very good side, by the way. I think they won the National League in 1983, or perhaps a Chatham Cup.
The old Massport Mount Wellington.
That's right, Massport Mount Wellington. So Miramar on the attack. And that very nearly fell kindly. I think for Sam Mason-Smith, who had peeled away at the far post, looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, the ball delivered to the back post here. I think it was Liam Wood. He's making a use of himself in there. As you say, Gordon, just a little bit less on it. I think Sam Mason-Smith could have been in on the back post. He's not had a prolific season.
by his usual standards. And we think of him as a player at Team Wellington and Hawke's Bay United, where he was the top goal scorer in the Bay. This season, 10 goals in 23 games across both the Central League and the National League Championship, Chatham Cup. It's Hamish Watson who, of course, unsurprisingly has been the go-to. 19 games, 21 goals. It's a goals-to-game ratio that looks rather like Garvin Coughlin's at Cashmere Technicals. He plundered the Winter League for goals galore, but has really shown himself to be a very important part of the Cashmere Technical puzzle in the summer edition of New Zealand's top tier domestic league. This is well worked between Samantha Fong and Ackers. That was brilliant. It was a beautiful cross, and Sam Mason-Smith and Watson were hovering just on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Oh, wonderful ball. This just drives it across the face of goal. And Mason-Smith, maybe he could have sort of dived for it, but slid in. But probably just the timing of his stride, not allowing that, and the ball flashed across in front of him. But wonderful play from Akers down the left flank there. A neat little 1-2, and then he used his pace and his power to get beyond the defence.
Well, Akers has shown Miramar the way. Like, if you can't get a quality ball into the front, well, sometimes you can be a little bit more direct and try and take players on. Here's Samantha Fong, who's very good at that. He's clipped it into the near post. It's headed clear. Christchurch United starting to look a bit flustered.
Yeah, good little period this for Miramar.
Tobin for Murdoch-Gibbs.
But they have, I mean, the thing is, Miramar have to, don't they? They have to respond. They have to show something, especially leading into half-time.
Rogerson. Max Faulkner. Akers.
Now the ball's got to go forward.
Oh, that's beautiful from Tien Manuel, and Tobin can pick out a teammate, but the quality of the cross was not to the highest standard. It was rather rushed instead of considered. 3 targets in the box too.
Yeah, exactly. You got to, you know, they've done so well to create the opportunity. And again, as we've seen, Christchurch have been in the same boat. The quality of the cross has to be there on the end of a move like that. And this time, again, it wasn't.
Akers, Faulkner. Wood and Rogerson. Mason-Smith has dropped into a pocket of space, so too Watson, who's whipped it over the top for James Murdoch-Gibbs. Oh, that wasn't a bad effort, actually.
The awkward ball just dropping in between the two centre-backs and bouncing up. Not a great clearance from Scott Morris either.
No, it was good because he, instead of going with his right, checking onto his left, it changed the whole angle of the delivery. And that allowed Watson to get in behind. It was very well conceived by Miramar's James Murdoch-Gibbs. Just under 5 minutes left of the first half. Miramar Rangers trailing Christchurch United by a goal to nil. 27th minute goal by William Pearce. The difference. Here's McLennan. Past Tobin into the penalty box. Well played by Dan McLennan.
Yeah, good strength by McLennan just to get into the penalty area. Cover defence coming across would always been something amazing or something very special for him to fashion across from that sort of position.
Wilkinson again picks out the same spot that he chose the last time he took a corner there, and Miramar have dealt with it more convincingly this time. Peterson. So I think that's McLennan, in fact. And Miramar have a free kick.
Come on, Dan! We have the pitch, Dan! Go, Dan!
It's been, for Miramar, it's been a performance of fits and starts, hasn't it?
Yeah, not the sustained pressure that we're used to seeing from Scotty Hale's team. But also I think that's sort of symptomatic of maybe the league and the structure of the league as well, given the history. I think we're so used to seeing like the Team Wellington scenario, and I think Wellington's a case in point of the difference in this National League and the old ISPS and the Premiership.
Here's a chance for William Pearce. Oh, good save. That's a very good piece of goalkeeping by Joe Knowles. It was a well-struck shot, and the response was equally impressive.
Yeah, McLennan does well, holds the ball up, and then Pearce again, and that's going to sneak inside the far post. Great save from Joe Knowles. Just touching on that point again, I mean, Team Wellington split into two. Half the players pretty much going to Wellington Olympic, half staying at Miramar, and and that's shown in the quality. And then you lose a few players offshore, you lose a few to injury, and this is the outcome of that, I think. And so it makes it very, very difficult. So I think in the sort of evolution of this formation of the league, maybe it's the shorter regional round would possibly be better with a longer national league.
Oh, and how did that not end up in the back of the net? That's an extraordinary moment. It came almost out of nowhere, out of nothing. Certainly caught us on the hop.
I think it was McLennan again who found a way to get his cross right across about 4 or 5 meters from goal. And it looked for all money that it was just a simple tap-in. But the intervention of the defender kept it to 1-0. We see ball into McLennan, and he's back to goal, and then it comes across, and Joel Peterson couldn't tuck that one away. Gosh, if you're Paul Eiffel, you're already celebrating that from his vantage point.
Yeah, it's difficult to see how Miramar come back from 2-0 down as well. It's a big, big moment. Just based on what we've seen so far, I've been unable to stick a consistent performance together in the first half and trailing by 2. That certainly getting a lot out of this left-hand side. Tobin's had a problem a couple of times with players being direct and using their strength to hold him off, but that's it for the first 45 minutes here at Dave Farrington Park. It's Miramar Rangers who trail Christchurch United by 1-0. William Pearce's goal after 27 minutes. And we've got more National League Championship action coming for you very soon. Well, there was one game that caught the eye yesterday, and that was Auckland City FC's match with Wellington Phoenix. Fred, you saw this one.
Yeah, it was a high-quality game at Kiwitea Street. Good conditions, pitch obviously in perfect order, as ever. And in the end, there were two players on the park that really stood out. This one here, Emiliano Tade, almost got through to open the scoring, and then just a few minutes later it was Cam Howison who did open the scoring. So Tade and Howison, the two most influential players of the afternoon. Phoenix were good on defence for long periods, but they just lacked that little bit up front. Tade had the ball in the back of the net, but was called Joe Lee, was called for offside. And then this was the first goal. Cam Howison just nicking in front of the keeper, getting a touch on it and directing it for 1-0. Bit unfortunate from the Phoenix, a bit of, not sure enough in defence. This was right at the death of the first half. And it was Auckland City that went into the halftime break 1-0 up. And then at the start of the second half, Auckland City were very good. They had a lot of moments in and around the Phoenix penalty area. They got close on 2 or 3 occasions. Tade again at the heart of it, twisting, turning. This was a good save at the near post. And again, Tade was marauding down the left flank. And again, the keeper keeping the Phoenix in the hunt. But all the pressure at this point in the game was on the Phoenix defence. This was a 2 or 3 chance opportunity. Hit the bar, and the ball goes out as they pull it back across the face of goal. So pinball in the Phoenix penalty area. And then a couple of set plays, one from Howison, the other from Tade. Didn't threaten the goal. Phoenix had a couple of opportunities as well, so it wasn't completely one-way traffic, even though the highlights seem to indicate that it was. But the goal-scoring action was, by and large, down the Phoenix defensive end of the field. So when the Phoenix do pass the ball well through the middle of the park, they can look good, especially in transition from back to front, quick counter-attacks. But they just lack that little bit up front. And this was the moment, I think, no, not yet. Again, best opportunity of the second half for Wellington. And then this moment that will be replayed over and over. Cam Howison just picking the ball up 65, 70 metres from goal. Nothing on, just looks up and then pings it deep in his own half and beats the keeper for 2-0. Are you happy with your performance?
Well, we didn't get the result we came here for. I thought the first 45 minutes we defended quite well, stuck together, stuck in our block. And then to concede like that right on half-time, it kind of killed us a little bit. But the message at half-time was come out, be brave, and make sure you defend well, but then take your chances when we go forwards. And we created a few, so we're unlucky to not come away with one. And their second goal was a great strike, so against the run of play, I guess. But goes.
It's difficult. Auckland City have a counter-attacking style. As a captain and a centre-back, how do you approach that?
Yeah, well, they're lethal on the counter-attack, but they're also very good with the ball. They like to build up. So with that, you kind of go into it knowing you might not have as much of the ball as some other games, but also you have to be set up well to defend their counters. And I thought we did that well. We just kind of let ourselves down in those final minutes of concentration.
You picked up a little bit of cramp at the end, but your team still managed to frustrate them.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not playing in a while, but you just got to try to get their match fitness back. But yeah, like I say, we created chances. We were there. We had a few shots, a few good shots. On another day, they go in. It changes the game. We had a half volley from 6 yards out that we put wide. On another day, if that goes in, we're already 1-0 up, and then it could be a different game. But yeah, like I say, I'm proud of the boys. We dug in well, but not to get the result is pretty disappointing.
And next week you got Wellington Olympic. It's another tough assignment. What are you going to take from this game into that one?
Yeah, that we can defend well, and we just need to make sure we stay concentrated during those important moments during the game, whether that be down their end or down our end.
Thanks, Finn.
Thank you very much.
Lost last week. Were you looking out to make a statement there today?
Yeah, it was obvious we needed to bounce back this weekend, and when you're coming back and playing at QET at home, we're very strong here, and we're happy to get that clean sheet and 3 points.
And for you personally, were you looking to add to your highlight reel? Deft touch to put them ahead, and then that long shot to seal the deal.
Yeah, it's quite funny because I think we've had a lot of opportunities, and myself to go and score that second goal, but ended up scoring probably the hardest one. But happy to get on the score sheet and help the boys get the 3 points.
They frustrated you a little bit through the second half. How did you assert?
They're a quality side, and they're up and coming, and they're going to run all day and work hard. They've got some top players in there, and full credit to them. We just had to stick to the game plan and keep calm, and we ended up getting that second goal, which was vital.
And you got 3 weeks left. What's your outlook going into? You got on the road next week?
Just keeping the standards high. We want to win all the last 3 games to, get that top 2 playoff for the final. So we'll be working hard in training and make sure that we give us the best possible chance to do that.
Good luck.
Well, Auckland City winning that game by 2-0. Here's the league table as it currently stands. Wellington Olympic and Auckland City in pole position to claim the 2 grand final berths, and with it the OC Champions League spot. And as you can see, relative to today's game, Christchurch United currently leading Miramar Rangers by 1-0. If things stay the same way, Paul Eiffel's team will climb off the bottom of the league and into at least, 9th position. Melville United, of course, are in action today against Birkenhead United. I was at the Melville United 50th Jubilee last night. Aaron Scott saying that he may bring down the curtain on his career with a home win in the National League Championship, or consider his options in January. That's what he said. That game being played at 3 o'clock today on Sky Sports 7.
United on the counter now. An opportunity through Zambrano. They use the full width of the pitch on this left wing side. Opportunity for Faye, the under-20 international, and they got the opening goal. And that is stunning. What a finish on the volley from Zambrano. And that is counter-attacking football at its best. Soaking up the pressure, United. And within 2 or 3 passes, the ball is in the back of the net.
Bentley's casual with receiving that ball, and now the space here for Jacob Richards. Oh, that's a fine finish by Jacob Richards, and it came from a Melville United mistake in midfield, but there's no doubting the quality of this volley.
Switch of play from Tado. That might be the only way Joe Lee gets possession, is with a 40-metre pass. Shuffles in Tade, hits his spot and hits the back of the net. And there is the threat, there is the danger. And Auckland United pay the biggest price. And Emi Tade scores again for Auckland City.
Here's some Pender now. Can they find the delivery? Yes, they can! And Josh Redfern just plants that one into the back of the net. You could hear the cries from Scotty Hales. He knew what was coming, And the delivery found the striker, and Auckland United go 1-0 up.
So here's Manicum now for City. Lee. There it is, the cutback onto the left foot. Rolls it across. Oh, it's a carbon copy of the first half goal. That is instant replay. We are back to the 80s, top of the pops. Auckland City are both lucky, but they still give possession away. So shooting opportunity, deflection, just hits the post. And on the rebound, they scored early. This is a stunning opening from Birkenhead, and it's their captain, Sam Burfoot, who scores. And it seems incredible after just 3.5 minutes to say that it's been coming, but it has.
Joe Poole, and Raboka has managed to find his way past one opponent. Got Wilkinson just to his left, who's lined up the shot. Oh, that's a fine finish. What a goal by Eddie Wilkinson. Set up by Raboka. Christchurch back in business.
And here is Tade with Howison sweeping forward. This is looking likely here for Auckland City. Howison early ball in, and there is the goal, beautifully done. Ryan de Vries opens the scoring. Superb combinations from the attacking trio.
Dylan Hobson with the corner kick. Flipped into the near post, and it's won by Birkenhead, and it's in the back of the net. It's Dino Botica. The home side sees the initiative just before the hour mark, to the delight of the Shepherds Park crowd.
Well, some fantastic goals scored in the National League Championship this season. And one man who knows all about scoring fantastic goals, Paul Eiffel, came on last week, played 10 games this year, covering the Southern League. And now watching his team lead here at Miramar Rangers by 1-0, courtesy of William Pearce's strike on 27 minutes. Seems to be a change to report to you also. Harry Choate has been thrown into the action. Wonder if that's for Josh Rogerson. We will bring that to you. I think that'll become self-evident as we get started. The Choate dynasty at Miramar Rangers continues. I was thinking actually about that at half-time, and the name Wycliffe, Preston, Eden City popped into my mind.
This is going to go on all
afternoon.
afternoon.
It's the motif that I've chosen for this afternoon.
This afternoon's match.
Yes. Monsoon Poon Miramar Rangers. That's certainly
text in your best one, everyone.
Yeah, that's triggered a nostalgia button somewhere in my mind for the old National League as Christchurch pour forward. Here's William Pearce. Perhaps there's another goal in the offing for him. Not this time.
Yeah, bright positive opening there from Christchurch. Want to push on with the job. Be interesting to see what Scotty Howes does here. Maybe there's a tactical change in his side over the past few seasons. Has typically played with a back three, 3-4-3, so maybe they're going to do something like that to match up more with this Christchurch United team. Just wait and see how the players, the formation looks.
Well, that is Josh Rogerson seems to be playing down the left, so I wonder if it's Akers or Tobin that's been withdrawn. Wow, that's a lash out from Murdoch Gibbs and a yellow card for Murdoch Gibbs.
Yeah, well, the ball was stuck on the sideline for what seemed like an eternity. Eventually it rolls away, and then Murdoch Gibbs just with a swinging leg, trying to clear the ball. Show of frustration from the Miramar player.
Well, he emptied the player. That was there was no doubt about that. But that's what happens. Frustration builds up, and a small brain explosion that resulted in a yellow card. But Miramar have certainly come out with greater intensity, and they've upped the ball speed. I'm wondering if it's Patrick Tobin that's been replaced with Harry Choate going into the middle, and Josh Rogerson maybe out to the left, as Christchurch almost create something out of that moment. Here's Wilson Savanthavong cutting inside, going beyond Pearce, bounces the ball off Joe Hull and gets it back. And Akers was in there, but
and there again, it's the quality of the passing that has been disappointing from Miramar today. And even little things as well, like when they're passing the ball across the back between the two centre backs, the ball's bouncing along. You know, it means that the receiver of the ball can't play first time. Ball gets passed into the middle of the park, and it just kicks up in front of the recipient. You know, those sorts of things just slow the play down, and I think that's that's a disappointing part of the way Miramar have played so far today.
A free kick for Liam Wood, foul by Dan McLennan.
Go Nines! Go Nines! Joey! Next time! Yeah, good boys! Head in!
Akers. And it looks like it's Max Faulkner that has been replaced, with Akers pushing forward into midfield. Tobin's been switched over to the left-hand side. And Harry Choate slotting into that back line.
Yeah, I think they've gone to a back three. Push Josh Rogerson forward. So trying to get more going in the attacking areas of the park is Scotty Hales.
Nice touch by Tien Manuel. Akers now unable to beat the third player. He managed to get past two. Miramar have increased the tempo in this game. Home side on the front foot. Savanthavong's throw. Christchurch United, this is a big test for them. They haven't kept a clean sheet in the National League Championship so far.
Yeah, Liam Wood going through the back of Ed Wilkinson.
Let Woody get back before it starts.
And the referee just having a word to Liam Wood.
Step on! Step on! One ball again! Joey, Nines! Get out!
Eddie Wilkinson creates those awkward little moments for centre halves. He's not the biggest of strikers, but he makes those runs very intelligently off the shoulder. Here's Akers.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with him the times that I've seen him at games, and you know, his touch is very good, and he has this ability. He'll run towards the ball, and then he'll slow down, and then speed up again, and that's just puts the defender in two minds, and it creates a metre of space for him, and that allows him to turn away from his defender which is very, very good. And then he tries to play forward. And no, I've been hugely impressed with the way he's played in the National League.
Yeah, I'd echo that. Goal a game this year. Southern League and National League Championship, Chatham Cup, 21 games, 21 goals. Here's Wilkinson again. That was nicely done against Akers, who's no slouch, although the defending there was good. Played by Joe Hall. Wilkinson tries to bend a speculator in towards Knowles, and well played by the goalkeeper, Knowles. And Savantha Fong steaming clear of William Pearce.
You got to think Miramar have to get more out of Hamish Watson. Just hasn't been a factor in the game so far. And I think that speaks of how they build up, because, you know, Watson's a big guy. He's not that mobile, and yet at the moment all he's being asked to do is to chase the opposition defenders as they're in possession. So probably not the best use of his abilities. So for Miramar, need to get the ball, build the ball up, and then bring him into play, rather than try and hit long speculative balls that most of the time don't find their mark.
Heard an interesting call there from, I assume that was Scott Hales, too many touches. So he's trying to get this team, this Miramar side, to knock this ball about with a bit more speed, and certainly with more care than that.
Just as they do it right, Watson just gives it away.
Here's McLennan. Tries one from distance. You can appreciate the inspiration, but not the accuracy. Tobin for Wood. Here's Mason Smith. Oh, that's a lovely play from Sam Mason Smith. Savantha Fong on the right. This is looking promising for Miramar. Tien Manuel. Now Murdoch Gibbs. Well,
just look at the numbers back for Christchurch there. Doing really well defensively. They want to hang on to this 1-0 lead.
Rogerson, a little round the corner flick. I think that was Watson. Akers now on the left. Little ball played in behind, and Miramar trying to get in behind this Christchurch United defence. They've succeeded in finding a corner.
Yeah, nice work from Akers. And it'll be he that takes the corner as they look to equalise.
Well, some type of infringement, I'm not sure what, but it's Christchurch United who are the beneficiaries of it. Todd Smith. Decent ball and a lovely touch by Wilkinson to bring that down. There's an opportunity to pick out a teammate at the far post. Well, that's a foul more likely on Savantha Fong than on a Christchurch player. Play continues. Well, Joe Hill couldn't have got closer. He was practically standing in a Miramar kit. Here's Akers.
Wilson, very good, Wills.
Watson for Akers, away by Todd Smith.
Better, come on. Stay out, Jimmy. Wilson. Wing back. Jimmy, off him. Jimmy, get off him.
And Sam Mason-Smith not too far away, but goalkeeper had that covered. There was certainly not pace to be concerned about for Scott Morris.
Yeah, Mason Smith hasn't had too many opportunities to shoot this afternoon, so I think he thought, well, I'll take what I can get. Probably was hoping to put it in the far corner. Ooh, that's a strong challenge from Sepinth. Well, it's Tian Manuel. Could be a card coming.
Yeah, Joe Hull is the recipient. What do you think Scott Hales will be happy with the 13 minutes he's seen from his team after the restart?
I think there's more energy, more intent, but again, they haven't created a clear-cut opportunity. I mean, the best I think that we've seen is the time that George Akers just flashed that ball across the face of goal. But they haven't really seen anything like that in the second half. So I think the build-up play's been a little better. They've got forward okay, but lack of quality in the final third is killing them at the moment.
Akers cuts in field, switches play to the other side. Christchurch drift across to pick up numbers. Here's Tobin. Rogerson. Manuel. Well, they're looking for a move out to the left, and you can see the body language from Josh Rogerson suggests that that's what was in his mind. But now Manuel has connected well here, and the shot straight into the gloves of Scott Morris.
But again, better for Miramar. Patience here, just holding on to the ball, not putting it at risk, picking your moment to go forward, and then when they do, they're inside the box or on the edge of the penalty area, and there's a shooting opportunity. So I think Scotty Hales will be very happy with that passage of play.
Knowles has over-egged the pudding here, and a chance for Rambuka. He should have hit it first time, but it won't matter because he has hit the back of the net, and Christchurch have doubled their lead after a mistake by Joe Knowles, and Miramar's spirited start to the second half comes crashing down around them.
Yeah, Knowles caught in two minds. Am I going to kick it? Am I going to control it? Well, he did the worst thing he possibly could. He controlled it into the path of Ed Wilkinson. He picks out Mika Rambuka, and Rambuka just calmly takes a touch and slots it home. As you say, Gordon, all the intent, all that enthusiasm that was building from Miramar in the second half, the air's gone out of the tyres for sure.
I thought Rambuka had missed the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but as you say, he kept calm and stayed focused and found the back of the net.
Well, I think he gave the keeper another opportunity by taking a touch. You know, if he was sure in his first touch to pass the ball into the net, then Joe Knowles would have had no opportunity. But by taking a touch, he brings the keeper back into the equation. But his final strike was good enough.
Well, it puts this scoreline puts pressure on Melville United, who are in action at 3 o'clock against Birkenhead, who will be desperate to pick up some points to put pressure on the top two teams. Manuel.
Yeah, it's been interesting watching Melville, a few games that I've seen of theirs. I think they'll be disappointed, obviously, where they are in the table, but the way they've played has been, at times, very, very good, especially through the first 2/3 of the field. But they just haven't been able to capitalise on the opportunities that they've created. And you know, with Colotti up front, we were expecting more in the goal-scoring area. Ryan Lawrence there as well. But they just haven't scored freely enough, and then at the other end, they have conceded a lot of goals. But Melville, the way that Sam Wilkinson has them playing is very nice. Just again, one of the sides that lacks a cutting edge, and I think they played Kashmir Tech the other weekend, and if you're taking Garvin Coughlin out of the Kashmir Tech side and put him in the Melville side, that changes the game completely.
Yeah, it's a good summary. As I said, I was at that Jubilee last night. Sam Wilkinson is standing down for next year as this ball comes into the far post, and Miramar off the bar. Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? That was gift wrapped. And Christchurch United have survived an extraordinary moment. And you just wonder if this is going to be the type of day that Miramar are in for. When nothing goes right.
When you say it's gift wrap, Gordon, actually had a bow on it. It's like the ball comes here off the post, and there, that has to go in. Absolutely. And it should be 2-1 right now.
Well, it was Michael Kennedy.
And that must be I mean, that is the frustration from the coach's perspective, because you're looking for the response, and there it was. Back to 2-1, tails up, going, push for the draw, and then maybe go on with it. But man, that was certainly was a clear-cut opportunity, as we see Wilson's Supanthafong going down and giving Miramar a bit more pressure to exert on this Christchurch goal.
Well, through the wall for Christchurch. It's gone to the near post, or rather between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. And now Christchurch can hit on the counter. Oh, Eddie Wilkinson, he got a second opportunity to pick out McLennan, who was steaming through the middle of the Miramar defence. Choate. Sam Mason-Smith, who found Rogerson, now Watson. Numbers in the box for Miramar. Supanthafong is held up by William Pearce. Now Matt Todd-Smith comes in and dispossesses him.
Michael, drop off. Do the 12.
Lapsley's ball forward's not a bad one for Wilkinson, and again, for the second time in this half, Joe Knowles elects to head the ball clear.
Hey, forward! Michael, beyond Michael!
Akers to Sam Mason-Smith, keeps his run going. Here's Kennedy. Oh, he's past one, past two. There's the cutback, and it is defended stoically by Christchurch United. Sam Mason-Smith was in the right spot.
Yeah, good work from Kennedy. running along the goal line, trying to pick out a teammate. But Christchurch, desperation at the back for Christchurch.
Christchurch need to get the ball back off Miramar. They are applying the blowtorch on United's defensive structure.
It was a good ball from Akers, that one. I think Tobin had misread, thought that the pass was not coming, but had he carried on his run, that would have created another dangerous opportunity for Miramar.
Well, that's what belief and trust instills in you, right? If you believe and you trust your teammate is going to play that ball, then you're in there. But if things aren't going so well, and
absolutely
they aren't.
Absolutely, and you've got to just keep doing it over and over and over again, because the one time that the ball does come, potentially it's a goal. So, as you say, that is the trust and the teamwork that sort of flies out the window as results don't go your way.
And that's another symptom of things not going your way. Frustration becomes part of the experience, and we're halfway through the second half, and Christchurch United are well worth their 2-0 lead. Miramar, try as they might, have been unable to breach this United defence, which has been porous in the first 5 games of the season. They've lived a charmed life on a couple of occasions, but they have the clean sheet. They have the goals.
We're waiting for some substitutions to be made.
Well, it's Joe Matheson for Christchurch who's come in, and for Miramar it's Spencer Cameron. Spencer Cameron's played 7 games this year for Miramar and all competitions. Choate runs going in behind for Miramar, but he whips the ball across to Tobin. Matheson's header. Decent touch by both Akers and Tobin, but Rogerson can't find Kennedy. So it's Savanthafong who has come off for Miramar. And now it's McLennan down the other end. Well, determined defending by Patrick Tobin. It's a corner for Christchurch.
As you can imagine, Ben Lapsley was he took his time in the first half. He's positively pedestrian here in the second. With his side leading 2-0.
Well, they've taken it quickly. Miramar is slow to react. Here's Matt Todd-Smith. And into the school next door. Taken by Mason Smith. Kennedy makes a run in behind. Akers has given a poor ball, and that's well read by Joe Hull. Matheson. Wow, Christchurch are buzzing here. There's all sorts of possibilities opening up here. Matheson can't quite find a teammate, but The skipper will tidy things up. Good use of the body by Matheson. He's held off 2 challenges there. Now a third, but needs to offload the ball. No options appearing for him. He's done well.
You can see he likes to invite the contact. Just get his body in the position, wait for the defender or the opponent to make contact, trying to win the ball, and then he'll just hold them off. He did that on 2 or 3 occasions in that little stanza.
Well, he could have thrown a hat down and collected money for it. It was, if I'd have been Matheson, I would have been disappointed that nobody had shown for it. I don't know, do buskers use FPOS machines these days? That may sound outdated even, but Christchurch are not looking outdated here. McLennan.
Dan McLennan's had a busy day. I think he's done some really, really good things. We saw a couple of crosses that he got right close to the goal line in the first 45 minutes. And you can see he's worked very, very hard for the team up front, down that left-hand side.
Here's Wilkinson with a corner, mining that far post. Yeah, they have a good balance, don't they? Wilkinson and McLennan in combination. It's almost an old-fashioned balance as well. McLennan strong, good on the ball, powerful, and Wilkinson physically diminutive, but certainly very capable with the ball at his feet. And some of the qualities you described about Wilkinson earlier, you know, he's very thoughtful on the ball and likes to take defenders out of position with intelligent runs. And it's certainly all come together for Christchurch this afternoon. Like on the balance, although Miramar have been their own worst enemy in front of goal and going through to the top third. Oh, here's another chance, and just that diagonal ball for McLennan again, who we were just talking about.
So I think it's Wilkinson on the ball there, and he picks out McLennan on the back post. And I'm sure there was a gap there that he could have just snuck the ball inside, or probably ideally pulled it across the keeper into the far post. Maybe would have upped the odds of him scoring. But again, great run from McLennan, well picked out by Wilkinson.
Oh, Matheson's got that wrong in terms of the timing of the tackle, but it was offside anyway. Well, that intensity from Miramar's dropped off, hasn't it? It's, Christchurch have ridden out the spike in activity after the half-time break. What will Paul Eiffel's message be here now? Just hold on to this. I mean,
just manage the game, I think, to the end. So you'll see they'll just try and hold on to the ball, try and play the ball as high up the pitch as they possibly can. Obviously try and sneak a third goal, but more importantly...
Here is Wilkinson trying to find that third goal. Oof, and he did well to get a shot away of any type. Tobin gives it straight to Matt Todd-Smith. Miramar are wobbling. Wilkinson, that's a good ball to Rambuka. Well, Miramar are trying to commit some type of self-destructive defensive piece here, and corner for Christchurch. They're like a boxer on the ropes, aren't they, Miramar?
Well, there's arms being waved around in that Miramar defensive line. They could have cleared the ball 2 or 3 times in that passage of play. Failed to do so, and then it was only because of blocked shots that it stayed at 2-0.
We should acknowledge Joe Knowles there, that he pulled off a pretty good save when that clutter of defenders was just opened up. Oh, and a free header from Matheson goes high over the top. Again, Manuel. Oh, he bends one in. That's nicely done by Matheson. Choate. Rogerson. Sam Mason-Smith has dropped into a pocket of space here on the left. Akers outside him. Back into Rogerson, whose first time ball to Kennedy was slightly offline, and it was well read by Lapsley, who's got another fine touch in there. And now Christchurch pour forward.
Yeah, Christchurch looking very comfortable. Probably be a free kick, yes. The referee judging that Mason Smith had pushed after the ball had been played. You see there just frustration.
Well, another change. This time it's for Christchurch United. One of the goal scorers, Mika Rambuka, has been replaced. And it's Noah Billingsley. That's not a bad player to be able to bring into the fray. Lapsley. Matt Todd-Smith tries to clip one into the far post, and it's picked up by Miramar. Watson. And that's blocked. It will be a corner for the home team.
Well, right now you've got to think that if Miramar are to get anything out of the game, then they're going to have to score pretty quickly. So these are the opportunities that maybe with the physical stature they've got, maybe they can capitalise. Not a great delivery though from Akers.
Oh, that's lovely skill from Kennedy. Choate's ball to the far post and gathered by Scott Morris with confidence and aplomb. Bambi on ice, but the gloves remained firmly on that ball. She'll be grateful for. Liam Wood's feeling the pace with a few exercises there to loosen up the calves. Here's Mason Smith. Watson's unmarked, by the way, just out of picture. He's arrived at the penalty spot. And Kennedy, good save, wonderful save. Danger's not over. Oh, this cries for handball from the Miramar support. Not so much from the Miramar players. And now the ball's almost found McLennan. Knowles off his line quickly. Nice touch from Rogerson. Lovely touch from Manuel. Oh, and Kennedy picked out Watson, who found space.
Now, good work from Mason Smith. Just pulls the ball back to Watson. And it was Kennedy with the initial strike. And then Watson had the header. Cries of handball at that point, but the referee having none of it. Yeah. Just at times, Miramar looked very good. There was a move through the middle of the park, one touch.
Here's Spencer Cameron. And Sho Matheson, who's been pretty good since he came on for Christchurch, steps in and deals with the danger. Miramar committing players forward, which is leaving Liam Wood with a lot to do at the back. Looks like he and Patrick Tobin are forming a rear guard of their own. Manuel. It was Mason Smith. Move kept running, and that's a nice header back to the goalkeeper. Decent ball by Josh Rogerson. Here's Hamish Watson. Oh, he's past one. Trying to evade Matt Todd-Smith, who's done some diligent work here for his team. He's actually had a great game, Matt Todd-Smith, off the ball. Like, he just gets into those positions to help out teammates when the play's broken down on attack.
Absolutely, and you can see there Hamish Watson also pulling away from the centre of the park, looking for some space, looking to get something going for his team.
Akers. Oh, and that's a good ball. The connection was strong enough, and Christchurch United's resolve matched it, but only just. They seem to have gone to sleep there as the connection was made. Another corner. Akers to the far post. Wilkinson, first attempt at the clearance was poor, but he gets a second bite at it, taking on a youngster in Spencer Cameron, and Harry Choate with a foul.
Yeah, this is a fantastic corner, just whipped in to the 6-yard box. Liam Wood flies at the ball, and a ricochet's clear, much to the satisfaction of the Christchurch United defence. But those are the key moments, aren't they, for Miramar? Had the Kennedy header, you know, Liam Wood there. If that goes in, then it's an exciting finish for the last 5 or 6 minutes as you push for an equaliser.
Well, Christchurch United, their last clean sheet was on the 27th of August against Mosgiel in the Southern League. Game they won
10-0?
10-0, yeah. 10-0.
And that won them the league on goal difference.
Yeah. 49 points apiece between Christchurch and Kashmir Technical, plus 62 goal difference for United. Technical had plus 59. And they'd lost to Technical on the 20th of August by 1-0.
I remember seeing that result and going, "Whoa, that one's to win the league. That one's curious." And then I went back and had a look, and I think Kashmir Tech had beaten Mosgiel 8-0 a couple of weeks before, so it was not unexpected.
No, there's well, Mosgiel were relegated with 2 wins, 3 draws, and 13 defeats, as we see McLennan being replaced by the very experienced Jordan Spain, who was part of that Canterbury United side under Keith Braithwaite that did so well for so many years. But there are other clubs too. Nomads were on the end of a few hidings, but you can only play what's in front of you, I suppose, and that's what Christchurch and Kashmir Technical have done. And they're here on merit, and today Christchurch United in particular are worthy of their 2-0 lead as William Pearce keeps going. And there it is, a penalty kick. Well, William Pearce has had an outstanding game, hasn't he? Scored a very good goal.
This is all about perseverance. He's gone past 2 players and he's tight to the goal line all the way along there. And I think finally the 3rd tackle he evaded. The referee's gone, well, that's good enough for a penalty in my books. And it gives Eddie Wilkinson an opportunity to add to his goal scoring tally and to seal the 3 points.
Well, 21 games, 21 goals for Eddie Wilkinson. 2 in the National League, and it's saved by the legs of Joe Knowles. Very, very far from ruthless by Christchurch United. But great goalkeeping from Joe Knowles. That's a difficult one for a goalkeeper One that goes straight down the middle as Wilkinson goes through again, round the keeper, and he scores. Well, there you go. That sums it up. 3-0 for Christchurch United. Redemption for Eddie Wilkinson after a rather average-looking penalty. Good save by Knowles, but this time, Sho Matheson with a great piece of skill. Miramar's defence stood still, and Wilkinson took full advantage.
Miss the easy ones, convert the hard ones. Eddie Wilkinson. That's a good snapshot of the sort of player that he is. Alert on the edge of the box, ability to ride a challenge. George Akers couldn't make the tackle, just skips past him, around the keeper, and then just finishes calmly. So, as we've talked about previously, Eddie Wilkinson having a very, very good National League part of the season.
Well, the referee nearly put the whistle in the... He put the whistle up to his lips, and I thought, goodness, we're going to have another penalty kick. What did you think, Fred?
I thought exactly the same. I thought the referee looked at it, then I think that there's well, Hamish Watson gets sandwiched between two players. Now, I think if the ball had been closer, you would have seen the two players get bowled over and Hamish Watson just standing there. So I think in the context of knowing how strong Watson is, that probably he's gone to ground pretty easily. But the referee, as you say, put his whistle to his mouth, and you thought that, yes, he's going to blow for another one. Another penalty, that is, but not to be. But it has been a disappointing afternoon for Miramar. At times they've looked okay, but each time that they've had a little bit of momentum, they've conceded goals at the other end, and that really has meant that they can't get anything really going. And that's Hamish Watson, the frustration here. He's just lashing out at anything that moves.
Akers gives it away to Matt Todd-Smith. Wilkinson begins his run in behind. Liam Woods had it covered, but you wouldn't be surprised if Christchurch were to grab another goal. It's been very, very fragmented from Miramar all afternoon. Christchurch United are now looking at climbing 2 places in the table, at least temporarily. They'll go level on points with the Wellington Phoenix, Napier City Rovers. And Melville and Miramar will drop to 9th and 10th, although, of course, Melville have destiny in their own hands as they take on Birkenhead at Gower Park at 3 o'clock on Sky Sports 7. Spain. Wilkinson. Nicely done. Now Matheson. Cuts inside. Wilkinson's there. Wilkinson chopping and changing on each foot. The shot through to Knowles, saved easily. Chote. Well, Hunter Wilson has come on from Miramar and is playing somewhere along the back line. It's an ongoing changing situation for Miramar, probably since midway through the second half. Since the second goal went in, it's fallen apart for the home team. It's turned into a very, very long year for them. One that started promisingly enough with the End of last year's Chatham Cup as the ball's played through, and a chance for the 4th goal. Joe Knowles stands strong.
Yeah, this is Noah Billingsley. His touch just took him a little wide there. Had it been better, then it would have created better angles to shoot. But credit Joe Knowles, getting out quickly, smothering the opportunity. But again, that just shows there, simple ball over the top, and Miramar completely exposed. And you know, that's just a sign of the state of the game. 3-0 down, and I think the intensity, the effort for Miramar, they know they're getting nothing out of this game, and it's showing in the application and the concentration.
Kennedy shoved off the ball. Free kick for Miramar. Hoping for some type of consolation. Here's Kennedy. And not with a shot like that. And that has been the last act of today's match. National League Championship clash between Miramar Rangers and Christchurch United. Christchurch United picking up their first win at this level. And their first clean sheet at this level. Their first clean sheet since late August. Thanks to goals by William Pearce on 27 minutes. Mika Rambuka chimed in on the hour mark, and Eddie Wilkinson, who saw his penalty saved by Joe Knowles. Then within all the length of time of the TikTok video, scored off the loose ball. 3-0, Christchurch United have prevailed, and they climb off the bottom of the league table. Fred, what's your summary of what we've seen?
Yeah, I think obviously Christchurch United, good for the win, you know, comfortable win. Miramar sort of huffed and puffed at times, but just couldn't sustain the momentum and the pressure on the Christchurch goal. And when they were having those moments, they then conceded at the other end, and that just deflated any real thoughts they had of getting back into the game. So, you know, good effort from Paul Eiffel and his side to come to Miramar and pick up the 3 points and get themselves off the bottom of the table.
So, results in National League Championship Round 6. Cashmere Technical beating Napier City Rovers 4-2. Auckland City FC's 2-0 win over the Phoenix Reserves, which we covered at half-time. And the big result that affected the top 4 was Wellington Olympics 3-1 win over Auckland United. Today's results, of course, Christchurch United picking up their first victory here at Dave Farrington Park, 3-0. And very shortly, Melville United against Birkenhead United. A big day for Melville United, who celebrated their 50th Jubilee yesterday. And Birkenhead United still in the hunt for a grand final berth. Well, two very different conversations happening on that pitch right now. Christchurch United celebrating a first victory perhaps in decades at the highest level, and for Miramar Rangers, a chastening afternoon.
Yeah, and as we've already said, it gets tougher and tougher for Miramar. Yes, they've got a game against Melville next week, but then it's Auckland City and Wellington Olympic. So opportunities to pick up points and get themselves back off the bottom will be pretty few and far between.
Yeah, Christchurch have got it tough too. They face Auckland City at home, Wellington Olympic, and then finish off with the local derby against Cashmere Technical, as if they hadn't seen enough of each other in the Southern League. But here is the league table as it stands. You can see Christchurch United sitting level on 5 points with the Phoenix Reserves and Napier City Rovers, and Miramar Rangers, for now, firmly stuck at the bottom of the table, although Melville could make that feel a lot further still if they are able to upset Birkenhead. For Birkenhead, a victory will propel them into the reckoning of the grand final berth and the OFC Champions League places. But that's all to come. So for now, on behalf of myself, Gordon Glenn Watson, and my colleague Fred de Jong, and everyone here, goodbye for now.